Canva just released a major update to the video editor and a lot of people feel lost. I get it, I felt the same. Everything looked different and I genuinely didn't understand what I was seeing first. So I sat down, I learned it from scratch, and honestly, it's a lot better than the old one once you know how it works. Give me a few minutes and you will feel completely comfortable editing in the Video Editor 2.0. Let's jump right in. So the biggest change here is the shift from a page-based video editor to a true continuous timeline. In the old editor, every page was basically its own canvas. You added elements on top of that page, and if you wanted those same elements to appear across multiple pages, you had to copy and paste them and then use transitions for the continuity. Now Canva has moved to a much more professional setup. One continuous timeline where you can stack layers, extend them, rearrange them, and animate everything exactly where you want it. It works much more like the editing tools that already exist for short-form videos on social media. And this change gives you way more freedom and control. Once you understand how the new timeline works, you can create so much more and do it far more effectively. So let's create a new project so you can actually see how this works. When you are in the video section in Canva, choose the canvas you would like to work on. Just note that if you open a non-video design, like an Instagram post for example, you won't see the video editor. I will choose Instagram Reel for today's example. Here you can see the video you're creating, and right below it is the timeline where you can adjust the timing of your elements. All your clips, layers, text, and audio. On the left, you still have the classic Canva panel, obviously, with everything you're already familiar with. You can control the zoom of the timeline right here, and you can also drag the divider between the canvas and the timeline to give yourself more space. You will see why that's important in a minute. Alright, so the main thing you are building on when creating a video is your base layer here in the timeline. You can upload your own clips or use Canva's library, and if you click to add a clip from the library, Canva automatically drops it onto the base layer in order. You will also notice a little plus icon inside the timeline. From here, you can add videos, images, or even a blank section that works like a colored background you can build on. Sometimes I find it easier to add a background to the entire video's base layer first, and then place my clips on top of it. But other times, I actually prefer dropping the clips directly onto the timeline, so let me show you an example of both methods. Okay, so the first example will be a short unboxing video I edited here inside Canva. In this case, I used the method of dropping the clips directly onto the timeline, and then I added different text layers on top. So I basically threw my clips onto the timeline and cut them precisely so they switch smoothly and feel fun to watch. If I click the plus sign here, at the end, select Uploads, go to Videos, and then choose the clip I want. Let's click this one. It will appear directly as the last clip after everything I already added. Let's watch the clip for a second. I can see what's happening in this clip, and then I can do a few things with it. First, I can grab the slides of the clip and drag inward to shorten it so it started later. Of course, I can do the same from the end as well. I can also stand on a specific part. Let's say I want it to start here. I place my playhead at that point and press S on my keyboard. That splits my video. Now I can delete the first part I don't want, and I'm left with just the section I need. If I want to adjust the beginning or end even more, I can drag either side until it's exactly where I need it. And let's say I want this clip to appear somewhere else in the video, I can simply drag it between the other clips or place it on the layer above. If I put it on a layer above, it can either cover the clips underneath, or if I resize it, I can have two clips visible on the screen at the same time. One thing to note, if I press S to split while I'm clicked on the design itself and not on the timeline, Canva will add this sticky note. So if that happens, it just means you weren't selected on the timeline. And if you want another useful shortcut, pressing T will add a new text box exactly where your playhead is positioned. As a general rule, if you click anything from the Canva library, whether it's your own video, a sticker, or any element, it will appear starting exactly where your playhead is. So if you want something to begin at a specific moment, move your playhead to that point first and then click the element. Also, pay attention to where elements appear in the timeline because that determines where they sit in your layers. For example, if I place this element below the text layer, the text will appear on top of it. If I drag the element above the text, it becomes the top layer instead. Just like in Canva's regular layers panel, whatever is higher is visually in front. When you add elements to your video, you can control exactly when they start and end. Canva also snaps elements to key points, like where a clip begins. So if you want your text to end exactly when a clip ends and not spill it into the next one, just drag the end of the layer until it snaps into the exact point. And if you have a lot of elements and you cannot select the one you need because the screen is crowded, you can also open Position, go to Layers and choose the exact layer you want to work on. It will jump straight to that layer in the timeline and you can adjust it however you need. Okay, now let's move on to another video, a talking head clip from an intro of one of my videos here on the channel. And I want to show you a great little trick you can do inside Canva's video editor. So here you can see my clip, and at this part where I'm speaking, I want to add text that highlights what I'm saying. I want the text to appear slightly behind me to give that shot more depth, and I also want an arrow that moves from confused to confident when I say it. Let me show you how I do it so you can learn how to create text that appears behind you in your videos inside Canva. This is something that works really well right now, so here's how to do it. First, I take my clip and I duplicate it. I will copy it, Command C and Command V. And Canva will automatically place the duplicated clip right after the original one in the timeline. But what I actually want is for both clips to play at the exact same time. So I drag the duplicated clip onto the layer above the base layer. Then I click on it, go to BG Remover and remove the background from the duplicated clip. Now I'm left with only me without the background. I don't want this duplicate to cover the entire video, only the part where I'm adding the text. So I will trim both sides so it fits exactly the moment where I want the text to appear. Next, I mute the audio from the duplicated clip so I don't get double sound. At this point, I can place anything I want between the two layers of video. So let me bring in the text I prepared ahead of time and also the arrow. As you can see, I'll add the text in the right spot exactly at the moment where I say confused and then again where I say confident. For the arrow, I can add an animation. I click the arrow, choose animate, pick wipe, set it to on enter only and make it animate from left to right. It shows as reversed here because I flipped the arrow, but that's how it works. And I can also grab a marker sound effect from Canva's library. Let me go to Elements and let's search for a marker sound effect. So when the arrow appears, it plays that marker sound. Let's watch it. No design degree, no endless tutorial, just one crash course that gets you from confused to confident step by step. So let's not waste time, let's get straight into Canva. One thing to keep in mind, sometimes Canva's preview can lag or look slightly out of sync when you're stacking multiple layers or using background remover. So if that happens, don't panic, it usually exports perfectly. I recommend downloading the video and watching it on your computer to verify the timing. Sometimes the editor preview looks off even when the export is totally synchronized. Okay, next up, let's talk about audio, animations, and transitions. To show you all of these things, I prepared another video using one of Canva's templates. I noticed that they used a black colored background as the base layer and then added the clips on top, switching them according to the music. As you can see, there's also text on the screen, and to make sure the text doesn't get lost inside the changing clips, they simply reduce the opacity of each clip to 70%. So I basically took my own clips and placed them inside this template in Canva. I would play it with sound for you, but unfortunately I don't have the rights to use the audio here, so it will be muted. But just trust me, it works really well with the transitions between the clips. Feel free to explore different templates from Canva's video template library and try placing your own clips inside them. Now to add music, as you can see here in blue, I go to the Elements panel, choose Audio, and you will find lots of music you can use. You can also upload your own audio. Just drag and drop your file into your Uploads folder and it will appear under Audio. You can also record a voiceover directly from the audio section in the Elements panel. When I click it, a recording window opens. Once I hit record, it will start recording from wherever my playhead is positioned on the timeline. You can click the little microphone icon here to choose which microphone you want to use, and any audio you record through Canva will automatically be saved under your Uploads and Audio folder, so you can access it anytime. Now, just like I showed you earlier with the arrow in the talking head videos, you can add animations to any element you place on the timeline. For example, my text here uses the typewrite animation. It types itself slowly on the screen. If I click this text box, you can see the animation is highlighted. I can adjust the animation settings just like in any other Canva design. You will also notice I duplicated this text box because I wanted the typing speed to match the timing I needed. So the animation ends here and the full text appears, and then for the last clip I didn't want another animation, just a static text that stays visible. You can add animations to your video clips as well. If your base layer is something else and your clips are sitting above it as additional layers, you can click a clip, go to Animate, and choose an animation for that video. You can apply animations not only to elements and text, but also to the clips themselves. For example, if I select blur, I can choose whether it appears only on enter or also on exit. And I can control the speed of the animation when the clips comes in. And if you place one clip underneath another clip, as you can see, the transition will happen from the animated clip into the next clip. Now, in a project where your clips are placed one after another, like in the unboxing video, if I hover between two clips, in the base layer, I can either add media or add a blank page between them, or I can also click Add Transition to add a transition between these two clips. You just pick the transition you want and apply it like this, and you will see the transition appear between the clips, just like that. Okay, now two last things that can be super useful if you're planning to use Canva's video editor. First, you can add captions to your videos. Let's go back to the talking head video for a moment. If I want to add captions, I go to Text, scroll down a bit, and choose Captions. Then I can select which video I want to generate captions for. Of course, I'll choose the first video, the main clip, and not the one we added earlier without the background. I click Generate Captions, and after it loads for a bit, I can see the captions that were added, just like you see here. If I click the caption text, you will notice it does not appear in the timeline. It's not something you can adjust in terms of timing. You can only click Captions in the top bar and edit the actual text in the captions. You can change the text, but you cannot move its timing. Only delete a line if you need to, so it's a bit limited, but you can also change the style of the captions. Adjust the text box, change the font, and play with the effects. For example, if I want a white background with black text, I can do that. Just play around with it and see what fits your video. My recommendation is to generate caption as the very last step of your edit. Once captions are added, any changes you make afterward might mess things up a little. So finish your entire edit and only then generate captions. One more thing to know, you cannot generate captions for audio files. So if you record yourself and added an audio-only file, you cannot create captions for it. Captions only work on actual video files, so just so you know. But if you want to add captions to something you recorded yourself, you can place the voiceover on a clip, then download it as an MP4 video, upload it into Canva again, and then generate the captions. And the last thing, you can also record yourself and your screen directly inside Canva. Under the Uploads tab, you will see the Record Yourself button. You can choose whether you want to record a talking head video, meaning your camera appears in a little circle, or record your screen inside Canva while you talk through what you're doing. So if you don't already have another tool for these kind of recordings and you want to edit everything inside Canva, this can be a really easy solution. Everything stays in one place and it makes the workflow much simpler. So that's Canva Video 2.0 in a nutshell. I hope this helped you understand how to create videos in Canva and feel more confident with the changes. If you want to learn more about Canva, check out the videos here. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.